Zara Voss adjusted her emerald green coveralls, wiping a bead of sweat from her forehead as she tightened the last bolt on the atmospheric regulator in the humid corridors of Stellar Nexus Academy. The elite institution for the galactic elite's offspring was a marvel of engineering, a sprawling complex suspended in the misty clouds of Elysium Prime, where gravity fields created walkable paths among floating platforms and bioluminescent vines that wove through the architecture like living veins. Most days, Zara moved through these ethereal halls like a shadow, fixing leaks in the hydroponic systems or recalibrating the anti-grav lifts that connected the Academy's tiers. The affluent alien parents rarely noticed her, their gazes drifting over her human form as if she were just another maintenance drone in the background. The students were no kinder, their telepathic whispers buzzing in the air whenever she entered a chamber to repair a flickering holographic projector or unclog a nutrient feed line. Just another shift in the clouds, she muttered under her breath, her voice lost in the soft hum of the Academy's life support systems. It was late in the cycle, after the primary learning hours, and the Academy had quieted to a serene whisper. Zara preferred these twilight hours. No haughty stares, no dodging entitled younglings zooming on personal hoverboards, just the rhythmic whir of her tools and the gentle sway of the floating structure. As she navigated her hover cart toward the botany wing, a faint, melodic hum caught her ear. Zara paused, her head cocking as she pinpointed the source. It emanated from Greenhouse 7C, a specialized chamber for exotic xenoflora studies. The translucent door was ajar, allowing a sliver of verdant light to spill into the misty hallway. Zara approached warily, peering through the gap. Inside, a small figure huddled on a low, anti-grav bench. She was a young Valari girl, perhaps 7 or 8 cycles old, with delicate lavender skin that glowed faintly under the greenhouse's grow lights. Her ebony hair cascaded in tangled waves around her face, which was smudged with a shimmering green sap, likely residue from some botanical therapy. The girl attempted to wipe her face with her sleeve, but her movements were jerky and imprecise, spreading the sap further. A soft, frustrated trill escaped her lips. Zara hesitated for only a moment before easing the door open. "Hey, little one," she said gently, her tone warm and reassuring. "Looks like you've got a bit of a mess there." The girl's head jerked up, her wide, silver eyes rimmed with subtle iridescence, widening in alarm and curiosity. "It's all right," Zara soothed, stepping closer slowly. "I work here. Name's Zara Voss. I'm the one who keeps all this greenery from wilting." The girl regarded her for a long beat before nodding faintly. "I'm Elara," she replied, her voice a soft chime, weak but melodic. "Nice to meet you, Elara." Zara knelt beside the bench, meeting the child's gaze at eye level. She reached in her cart and pulled out a clean absorbent pad, moistening it with neutral solvent from her toolkit. "Mind if I help clean that off? That sap can irritate if it sits too long." Elara studied her again, then gave a small nod. With tender, precise motions, Zara began dabbing away the green residue. Elara tensed at first, but soon relaxed. Her silver eyes, fluttering, closed briefly. "Better?" Zara asked after a minute. Elara nodded, a tiny smile breaking through. "Much better. Thank you. No trouble at all. What is this stuff, anyway?" Zara inquired curiously. "Photosynthetic enhancer gel," Elara explained in that earnest way children tackle big concepts. "It's meant to boost my energy conduits, but it stings and makes my skin itch." Zara winced in sympathy. "Sounds tough. You're handling it like a champ, though." "Mother says Valari endure trials with grace," Elara recited, though her tone hinted at repetition fatigue. "Well, I think even graceful warriors need a helping hand now and then," Zara replied with a wink, drawing a brighter smile from the girl. She was about to add more when the greenhouse door hummed open fully. "Elara, the shuttle is..." The voice halted sharply. Zara turned to face the most captivating woman she'd ever encountered. Tall and poised, with vibrant violet skin that shimmered like polished amethyst under the grow lights. She stood rigid in the doorway, her amethyst eyes, slitted like a cat's, narrowed in sharp assessment. Her attire, a sleek executive jumpsuit under a flowing cape of iridescent fabric, exuded authority and fortune. Zara instantly recognized Nyra Kael, the widowed magnate of Kael Quantum Energies and one of the richest beings in the quadrant, and clearly Elara's mother. "What are you doing with my daughter?" Nyra's voice was measured, but laced with an edge like sharpened crystal. Zara rose slowly, mindful of appearances. "Ma'am, I was just assisting." "Mother," Elara interjected eagerly. "This is Zara." She cleaned the gel off my face. It was itching so badly. A ripple crossed Nyra's flawless features. Surprise, reevaluation, maybe a hint of chagrin. Her eyes flicked between Elara's clean face and the damp pad in Zara's hand. I see, she said at last, her tone thawing slightly. That was thoughtful. Just part of the job, ma'am, Zara replied humbly, though botanical cleanup wasn't exactly in her maintenance description. Nyra's gaze held hers a beat longer, something inscrutable in those violet depths. Then she composed herself. Come, Elara. Dr. Silas awaits for your evaluation. She approached to guide the anti-grav bench, her elegant violet fingers grasping the controls. Bye, Zara, Elara called as they moved toward the door. Thank you. Anytime, Sprout, Zara answered with a genuine grin. Just before exiting, Nyra paused and glanced back. For a fleeting instant, her regal facade softened to reveal curiosity. Your name? Full name. Zara Voss, ma'am. Nyra nodded, filing it away. Thank you for your help, Ms. Voss. With that, she departed, leaving Zara alone amid the glowing plants, pondering the encounter and why her pulse quickened inexplicably. For cycles later, Zara was recalibrating a climate control panel in the Academy's central atrium, a vast, open space where mist cascaded like waterfall from upper platforms, when her comlink shirked. Voss, report to my office at once. Zara furrowed her brow. In her 8 months at Stellar Nexus, she'd never been summoned by Director Vosser, a burly Quarian with tentacles for appendages and a penchant for bureaucracy. On my way, she responded, securing her tools before heading to the administrative spire. Director Vosser's aide, a fidgety Lamari with glowing antennae, ushered her in immediately. Inside, not only Vosser awaited, but Nyra Kael sat gracefully in a guest chair, her amethyst eyes locking onto Zara instantly. Ms. Voss, Vosser intoned deferentially. Ms. Kael requests a private discussion. Use my office. Before Zara could reply, Vosser slithered out, sealing the door. Ma'am. Zara nodded respectfully, staying on her feet. Is Elara all right? Nyra's expression flickered with surprise. Your immediate concern is my daughter's well-being. Noted. She motioned to the opposite seat. Sit, please. Zara obliged, feeling awkward in her work gear against Nyra's polished ensemble. A form-fitting suit of metallic weave that complemented her violet hue. Elara is stable, Nyra continued. But she speaks of you incessantly since our meeting. The human who wasn't scared to help me, she says. Zara tilted her head. Scared? Why would anyone be scared? Many are, Nyra replied, scrutinizing her. Her affliction is uncommon among Valari. Some fear contagion, despite science proving otherwise. That's absurd, Zara blurted, then checked herself. She's just a kid. Precisely. A faint smile touched Nyra's lips. I've investigated you, Ms. Voss. Former interstellar fleet engineer, commendations for ingenuity under duress, expertise in biomechanical systems. Yet now you maintain school facilities. Zara shifted. The Void Wars reshaped priorities for many. The Epsilon Eridani skirmishes, Nyra nodded. Humans proved resourceful against the Vortak horde. Your kind was undervalued. We thrive on being overlooked, Zara said with quiet pride. Nyra leaned in. I have an offer, Ms. Voss. I wish to employ you as Elara's personal attendant. Zara blinked. I'm a mechanic, Ms. Kael. You're an engineer with biosystems knowledge who showed more empathy to my daughter in moments than prior attendants have in cycles, Nyra countered, her eyes intense. Compensation will reflect the role. She passed a holopad. Zara glanced at the figure and nearly gasped. That's substantial. It's fitting, Nyra said evenly. The position includes residence at my compound, escorting Elara to sessions, and aiding her therapy. Your engineering background suits her adaptive tech needs. Tech needs? Zara arched a brow. Any risks I should know? Nothing acute, Nyra replied swiftly. But as heir to Kael Energies, Elara draws attention. Industrial rivalry is fierce here. Zara sensed omissions, but pressed on. What does Elara think? Nyra's brows lifted, unaccustomed to such queries. She's insistent. Hire the human with the steady hands, she demanded. Zara smiled. Smart kid. She is. Nyra's gaze softened. So, Ms. Voss, do you accept? Zara waited. The pay was life-changing, but more so, helping Elara tugged at her. I do, on one condition. Nyra's eyes narrowed. Call me Zara. Ms. Voss sounds too formal. Nyra's tension eased, amusement glinting. Agreed, Zara. In private, you may call me Nyra. Publicly, maintain decorum. Deal, ma'am. Zara teased lightly, earning a subtle eye roll. Nyra rose, extending her hand in human fashion. Zara took it, Nyra's skin cool and silken, sending a spark through her. For Nyra's slight breath hitch, she felt it too. Tomorrow, then, Nyra said, releasing slowly. As she left, Zara called Nyra. She turned. Thanks for trusting me with Elara. I won't disappoint. Vulnerability flashed before Nyra's mask returned. Ensure you don't. But her tone held warmth. The Kael compound floated atop a massive anti-grav platform in Elysium Prime's upper atmosphere, overlooking swirling storm clouds and occasional aurora bursts. As Zara's shuttle descended, she admired the design. Sleek spires intertwined with energy conduits pulsing like veins, gardens of floating orbs growing rare crystals. Stunning, she whispered, her toolkit bag at her feet, a humble contrast to the splendor. The shuttle landed smoothly. Greeting her was a squat, armored Draxon with ridged scales and a gruff demeanor. "Ms. Voss," he rumbled. "I'm Grant, Chief of Staff. This way." No warmth, just duty. Zara followed into the compound. Interiors blended tech and nature, hollow walls displaying starfields, furniture of adaptive smart matter. Yet it felt clinical, lacking homely vibe. "You're sweet," Grant announced at a door. "Ms. Kael and the young one are at a session. Return in 2 hours. Review Elara's protocols meantime." He handed a hollow pad. "Staff knows your role." His tone implied disdain. "Thank for the intro," Zara quipped cheerfully. Grant's ridges furrowed. "Meals at 1800 sharp. Don't delay." He lumbered off. Zara's suite was luxurious but neutral. After stowing gear, she delved into Elara's files. The data chilled her. Elara had quantum flux disorder, a rare Rivalry genetic ailment, disrupting energy conduits, akin to neural pathways but for bioenergy flow, leading to progressive weakness and eventual stasis lock. Therapies involved aggressive energy infusions, effective marginally but with harsh side effects. Fatigue, sensory overload, potential conduit burnout. "This is brutal for a kid," Zara murmured. A chime sounded. The door opened to a lithe, feathery Avari with multicolored plumes. "Pardon intrusion," she chirped in accented standard. Lyra, nutrition specialist, brought sustenance for human. The tray held not water, but a steaming cup of tea, Earl Grey from scent. "Tea?" Zara asked, touched. "How'd you know?" Lyra's plumes ruffled in pleasure. "Humans favor leaf infusions." "Studied preferences." Zara chuckled. "Spot on." "Thanks, Lyra." As Zara reached, Lyra leaned in. "Caution, some staff distrust humans. Avoid consumables not from Lyra or Ms. Kael." Zara paused. "They'd spike my food." "Not lethal," Lyra whispered, "but discomforting additives. Draxons especially resent humans, claim you disrupt harmony." "Charming," Zara said dryly. "Why the hate?" Lyra's plume shrugged. "Humans ascended fast post-wars. Some envy, others fear. Avari like me. Vortak enslaved our worlds. Humans aided freedom. We grateful." She bowed. "Must go. Observe closely." Post-Lyra, Zara sipped tea, perfect, and mulled the warning. Hostility she could manage. Impacting Elara? Unacceptable. She explored the compound, mapping routes, old fleet habits. Staff gave cold shoulders, Draxons glaring openly. In Elara's wing, she found her chamber, therapy bay with energy harnesses and med suite rivaling a starship infirmary. Examining an energy modulator, a voice startled her. "Intrigued by my daughter's ailment, Ms. Voss." Zara spun to Nyra in the doorway, clad in a casual robe flowing like liquid silk. The sight captivated. Just grasping the tech, Zara recovered. "These infusions seem harsh for her age." Nyra's eyes flashed. "Defensive? Guilty?" "They're essential. Progress demands endurance." "Side effects look severe," Zara pressed gently. "I didn't hire you to critique medical choices," Nyra snapped. "Your role is support and comfort." Zara held firm. "They're intertwined. If tech harms, more than helps." "You've been here hours," Nyra cut in, advancing. "Don't presume expertise over me." Tension crackled, charged with undercurrents. Even irate, Nyra was magnetic. "Where's Elara?" Zara shifted, resting post-session. Nyra softened fractionally. "You'll see her at meal." "I met staff. They're unwelcoming." Nyra dismissed. "Irrelevant. Focus on efficacy. If hostility hampers me, it hampers Elara." Nyra paused. "Point taken. I'll address." She eyed Zara anew. "You prioritize Elara consistently." "Unusual. It's the job," Zara noted. "Yet most seek my favor, not hers." "I'm not most." "Evidently not," Nyra murmured, gaze lingering. Meals at Kael were formal. The dining hall featured a crystalline table under a dome showing storm vistas, set with glowing utensils. "Zara," provided attire felt misplaced. Nyra presided ahead in an elegant dress highlighting her violet grace. Elara, in her energy chair, lit up at Zara. Zara, Mother said you'll stay. Yep, Sprout. Zara grinned, sitting opposite. Cool with you. Best ever. Elara beamed. Tell Earth tales? Wars? Mother calls you clever. Zara glanced at Nyra, who busied with her plate. Clever, eh? Happy to share Earth stories. Grant and Draxon servers moved stiffly, serving Zara last with disdain. Post-session feel? Zara asked Elara, ignoring slights. Tingly. Arms, ecto immobile. Echo pain, good sign, conduits active. Really? Elara brightened. Dr. Silas never explains, just endure. Knowledge empowers, Zara shrugged. Human view. Grant interjected, pouring Nyra's nectar. Valari tradition. Info burdens youth. Yet she's calmer knowing, Zara countered mildly. Nyra watched intrigued. Balance perhaps. Meal continued with Elara's school chatter, Zara deflecting Grant's jabs amiably. Nyra's gaze often met Zara's, thoughtful. Dessert arrived, color-shifting orbs when Elara stiffened. Mother again. Convulsions hit, chair vibrated. Seizure, Zara barked, rising. Grant mid-team. Grant hesitated, eyeing Nyra. Now, Nyra ordered, fear-cracking voice. Zara eased Elara to floor, positioning safely. Frequency, twice. Nyra knelt, vulnerable. Doctor said normal. Not normal, Zara muttered, noting paling skin. Energy overload. Med team rushed. Two spindly Zorath with multifaceted eyes. Move. Human, lead demanded. Primitive grasp. Zara ignored, checking. Infusion too high for her flux rate. Calculated precisely, Doctor scoffed. For standard Valari, not her variant. Seizure worsened, foam at lips. Crashing. Flush now. Outrageous. But Nyra commanded do it. Zara used her fleet kit, administering stabilizer and accelerant. Tensions mounted, then spasms eased. Stabilizing, second doctor admitted. She needs adjusted infusions, Zara said. Lead bristled. No authority. Humans saved her, Nyra iced. Include Zara in decisions. Post-transfer, Nyra touched Zara's arm, electric. Thank you. Zara, covered hand. We'll fix this. Moment lingered, unspoken. Zara stayed overnight monitoring. Morning, Elara rested peacefully. Nyra entered, weary but elegant in tunic. All night. Fleet habit. Nyra's fingers brush shoulder, spark. She responds well. Fighter like mother. Nyra flushed faintly. Perhaps. Onset. 5 cycles. Minor fluxes, then worsened. Nyra's pain showed. Her father pioneered therapies. Died 4 cycles ago. I continue. That's why committed despite risks. Judging. Empathy. Grief clings. Before reply, doors hissed. Tall Zorath strode in, furious. Protocol changes? Dr. Silas demanded. I authorize Nyra calm. After flux crisis. Acceptable reaction. Human intervened. Saved her, Nyra sharp. Silas glared. Humans lack quantum med knowledge. Fleet biome, treated Valari, Zara corrected. Overload from variant flux. Silas reviewed data, surprised. Anomaly, but not conclusive. She's peaceful now, Nyra noted. Continue modifications. Irregular. Human unqualified. Collaborate, Zara suggested. Silas stiffened. Refuse. Resign, Nyra cold. Silas conceded stiffly. Post-exit, Nyra sat exhausted. Intense. Silas tied to father's work. Hard. Zara gentle. Balancing legacy and best for Elara. Nyra vulnerable. You see through easily. Human empathy. Nyra smiled. Surprising species. Full of them, Zara winked, deepening flush. Elara woke hungry. Laughs ensued. Post-meal, Nyra led to study, cozy with crystal tomes. Father's notes. Zara audit data. Thorough. Review. Fresh eyes. Hands brushed, lingered. Rest, Nyra husky. Long night. Wise, Zara agreed. Contact unbroken. Zara Nyra soft. You cared beyond duty. Rare. Just job more. Nyra kissed cheek. Cool spark. Good night, Ms. Voss. Night, Ms. Kael. Zara touched spot, heart racing. Reviewing notes, she knew boundaries blurred. 3 weeks post-crisis, Zara escorted Elara to Academy's Quantum Gala in fitted gown, vigilant for relapses. Elara improved markedly. You look pretty, Elara said in foyer. Mother will agree. Zara fidgeted. She's busy tonight. She notices you, Elara teased. Nyra descended in gown like captured lightning, violet skin radiant. Breathtaking, Zara breathed. Likewise, Nyra smiled appraising. You suit elegance. She does. Elara giggled. Weeks brought shifts, sessions turned personal, shared histories, attractions growing. Tonight, Elara's public return, Nyra's board meet. United on therapies, Nyra reminded. Silas uncooperative. Threatened, Elara said. You're better. Elara. Nyra chided, amused. Shuttle ride, Elara chattered. At gala, glittering elites noted trio oddly. Miss Kael, oily voice. Tall, scale vortac remnant, eyes sly. Elara attends, delightful. Zara tensed. Director Vex, Nyra cool. New protocol works. Vexide Zara. Human behind changes. Zara Voss. Handshake reluctant. From maintenance to med? Versatile like scavengers. Nyra tensed. Vex heads rival analysis. Intriguing, Zara mild. Curious on your take of father's energy breakthroughs. Vex flickered. Bored soon. Post-Vex, Nyra archbrow. Bold. Testing, Zara murmured. Later, private. Elara mingled. Zara watched. Silas conversed with Vex, glancing. Ms. Voss, Director Vosser. Elara improved remarkably. She's strong. Rumors. Board worries human in Valari protocols. And Silas vocal. Vex questions impropriety with Ms. Kael. Impropriety? Zara angered. Humans manipulative, some say. Using Elara for wealth. Baseless. Agreed. Warning. Kael has foes. Commotion. Older students harassed Elara. Zara intervened. Issue. Scaled youth sneered. She shouldn't be here. Weak drain resources. False. Elara defiant. Valari Cole weak. Natural. Zara stepped. Strength's character, not body. Lacking yours. Father's influential. He'd love hearing son bullies kids. Group retreated. Elara smiled. Epic. Calm buzzed. Lyra panicked. Silas tampered Elara's drink. Zara knocked glass. Tampered. Scanned. Flux inhibitor. Lyra, TX. 9, and stabilizer. Cleared area. Vosser. Poisoned Silas. Board doors burst. Nyra rushed. What? Silas poisoned. Administered antidote. Facility now. Security hunted Silas. Vex approached feigned concern. Misunderstanding. No, deadly. Suspected Vex, Zara accused. Altered protocols post-father's death, ensuring failure. Nyra blazed. True. Timestamps to Vex. Lies. Father's recording, confrontation. Access. Gave her Nyra calm. Board voted suspension. But Elder intervened. Vote invalid. Misinformed. Evidence compelling. Detained Vex. Vex grabbed Elara, disruptor to neck. Back. Let go. Nyra pleaded. She's heir, mine by right. Father promised. Delusion. Zara distracted. Humans excel at Elara bit. Zara struck disarming. Security took Vex. All right. Nyra asked. Fine. Elder. Gratitude. Saved. Uncovered. Job. Med checked. Elara. Nyra pulled aside. New. Suspected. Proof first. Nyra wondered. Surprise always. Good ways. Best. Kissed. Promise. When Violet Billionaire saw a human mechanic aiding disabled child, best decision. Brought home. Zara grinned. Humanity wins. Nyra laughed. Indeed, in the cycles that followed the dramatic revelations at the Quantum Gala, the Kael compound underwent a profound transformation. What had once been a fortress of cold efficiency, suspended high in the swirling mists of Elysium Prime, began to pulse with a new kind of energy, one born not from quantum conduits or corporate machinations, but from the quiet warmth of connection. Nyra Kael, the violet-skinned magnate whose life had been defined by boardrooms and balance sheets, found herself navigating unfamiliar terrain. Her amethyst eyes, once sharp with calculation, now softened at unexpected moments, lingering on the human who had upended her world. Zara Voss, the resourceful mechanic turned guardian, dove her expanded role with the same unyielding determination that had seen her through the Void Wars. No longer confined to mere maintenance, she became the architect of Elara's recovery, redesigning therapies with a blend of human ingenuity and Valari tech. The compound staff, initially resistant, began to thaw. Grunt, the gruff Draxan chief of staff, grumbled less about human meddling and even offered terse nods of approval when Zara's modifications yielded results. Lyra, the feathery Alvari nutritionist, became an ally, her plumes fluttering with excitement as she adapted menus to support Elara's strengthening energy conduits. The first signs of change appeared in the mornings. The dining hall, with its crystalline table overlooking the endless storm clouds, had always been a place of formal ritual. But now, As auroras danced in greens and blues across the dome ceiling, it echoed with laughter. Elara, her lavender skin glowing with a natural luminescence rather than the artificial sheen of infusions, would bound in, still relying on her energy chair for longer distances, but taking wobbly steps for short ones. "Zara, look what I can do," she chimed, demonstrating a new trick, like levitating a small crystal orb with her stabilizing conduits. Zara would grin, setting down her tea, always perfectly brewed by Lyra, and applaud. "That's amazing, Sprout. Your flux control is getting stronger every day." Nyra, entering last in her flowing executive robes, would pause in the doorway, a subtle smile curving her lips as she watched the scene. It was a far cry from the solitary meals of before, where silence had reigned and Elara's condition had cast a perpetual shadow. One such morning, as mist cascaded like ethereal waterfalls outside the dome, Nyra addressed the group. "Elara's latest scans show a 40% improvement in conduit efficiency. Dr. Silas's replacements, our new Zorith team, are impressed." She glanced at Zara, her voice carrying a note of pride. "Thanks to your harness prototype." Zara shrugged modestly, though her cheeks warmed under the praise. "Just tweaking the algorithms. Human tech from the wars. Adaptive shielding for energy bursts. Figured it could work here." Elara clapped her small hands. "Can I try the new version today? Please." Nyra hesitated, her maternal instincts warring with her CEO pragmatism. "Only if Zara supervises." Zara nodded. "Of course. We'll start slow in the therapy bay." As breakfast wrapped, Grant clear plates with unusual efficiency. Security briefing at 0900, Ms. Kael. Rumors of cartel movements. Silas's old contacts. Nyra's expression hardened. "Handle it. I won't let shadows from the past dim our progress." The therapy bay, a spacious chamber lined with humming energy modulators and holographic displays, became their daily sanctuary. Zara had personalized it, adding soft lighting that mimicked Earth's sunsets, per Elara's request after hearing Zara's stories. "Tell me about the beaches again," Elara would beg as Zara fitted the harness, a sleek band of adaptive alloy that synced seamlessly with the girl's bioenergy fields. "Golden sands, waves crashing, seagulls crying overhead," Zara narrated, her hands steady as she calibrated. "One day, when you're fully recovered, we'll visit a simulation, or better, a real one if we can swing a trip to Terra colonies." Nyra often observed from the observation deck, her violet fingers tapping thoughtfully on the railing. Watching Zara's patient guidance, correcting Elara's posture, encouraging each tentative step, stirred something deep within her. It wasn't just gratitude. It was a growing admiration, laced with an attraction she could no longer deny. That evening, as Elara rested, Nyra invited Zara to her private study, a cozy enclave filled with ancient Valari crystal tomes and hollow projections of quantum models. "We need to discuss the board's upcoming audit," Nyra began, pouring a luminescent nectar into crystalline glasses. Zara accepted one, savoring the sweet tart flavor. "They're scrutinizing my involvement." Nyra's slitted eyes met hers. "Your human background raises eyebrows. And the rumors about us, post-Gala kiss, didn't help." Zara set her glass down. "Then let's address it head-on. I'm here for Elara, but also for you." Denying that won't make it go away. Nyra paced, her robe swirling like violet mist. "In my position, vulnerability is a weakness. Vex exploited my grief over Elara's father. I can't afford another lapse." Zara rose, gently halting her. "This isn't a lapse, it's strength. We're better together." Their hands intertwined, cool violet against warm human skin, sending that familiar spark. Nyra leaned in, their lips meeting in a kiss that deepened, exploring the boundaries they tiptoed around. When they parted, Nyra whispered, "Perhaps you're right. But discretion, for now." The board audit arrived like a storm front, hollow projections of stern Valari elders filling the conference chamber. Chairwoman RYL, her faded violet skin etched with cycles of wisdom, led the inquiry. "Ms. Kael, Quantum Energies thrives, stock up 25% since the scandal. But concerns persist about human influence on proprietary tech." Nyra stood tall. "Ms. Voss's contributions are documented. Patented conduit boosters, reducing therapy side effects by 60%. She's an asset." RYL's silver eyes shifted to Zara. "Impressive for a former fleet engineer. But personal ties." Zara spoke evenly. "My priority is Elara's health and the company's innovation. Personal matters remain private." A younger board member, a sharp-featured Valari named Lorne, interjected. "Privacy? The gala footage suggests otherwise." Could this compromise decisions? Nyra's voice iced. My decisions have only strengthened us. If you doubt, review the metrics. The audit concluded favorably, but with caveats. Regular reports on Zara's projects. Post-meeting, Nyra exhaled in relief. You handled that well. Zara grinned. Fleet interrogations were tougher. Now about us. Nyra pulled her close. Dinner tonight. Just us. No business. Their private dinner under the Aurora Dome marked a turning point. Elyra prepared a fusion feast. Earth-style grilled proteins with Valari energy-infused salads. As they dined, stories flowed. Nyra recounting her rise from a modest Valari clan to corporate titan, driven by her late husband's quantum discoveries. He was brilliant but distant. Elara's illness broke him. Zara shared war tales, repairing starships under fire, losing comrades, finding solace in ingenuity. It taught me life's too short for regrets. Wine loosened tongues, and soon they were laughing over cultural quirks. Valari's ritual dances versus human karaoke. Show me, Nyra challenged. Zara, emboldened, sang a silly earth tune, pulling Nyra to dance. Their movements synced, bodies close, leading to a passionate night in Nyra's quarters. Waking tangled in silken sheets, Zara traced Nyra's violet curves. No regrets. Nyra smiled. None. But peace was fleeting. Whispers of Silas's return surfaced. Grant's intel pinpointed him on a fringe moon, aligning with Vortac remnants eyeing Kael's tech. He's building a counter-device, Grant rumbled in a security briefing. To disrupt conduit therapies, target Elara. Nyra's fists clenched. Mobilize teams. Zara volunteered. I can hack their systems, fleet tricks. Nyra protested, but Zara insisted. I won't lose you too. The mission launched. Zara, with a Draxon squad, infiltrated the moon base. Stealth suits cloaked them in shadows as they navigated jagged terrains. Inside, alarms blared, ambush. Laser fire erupted. Zara dodged, deploying drones from her kit to jam signals. Silas, she shouted, cornering him in the lab. The Zorith sneered, multifaceted eyes gleaming. Human fool, you'll ruin everything. A fierce fight ensued. Silas's tech versus Zara's wits. She overloaded his device, causing a chain reaction that disabled his forces. Captured, Silas spat confessions. Jealousy over Nyra's husband, bribes from cartels. Back at the compound, Nyra embraced Zara fiercely. You risked everything. For family, Zara replied. Elara, witnessing, hugged them both. My heroes. With threats quelled, life flourished. Zara's innovations went company-wide, healing other Valari children. Elara, fully mobile, pursued engineering apprenticeships. Nyra and Zara's bond deepened through travels, visiting Terra beaches, Valari crystal caves. Intimate moments wove into daily life. Shared baths in thermal pools, whispered promises under stars. Cycles later, on the spire overlooking eternal storms, Zara proposed with a custom ring, fused human gold and Valari crystal. Bond with me? Nyra accepted tearfully. Their ceremony blended traditions, Valari conduit vows, human rings, attended by staff and board. Elara stood as witness, beaming. Years on, the compound became an innovation haven. Elara led research. Nyra and Zara Kosoas, their love a beacon. Reflecting, Nyra said, when I saw you with Elara, what I did next, trusting a human, saved us all. Zara kissed her. Humanity and Valari, united. In the cycles following the moon base incursion, the Kael compound solidified its transformation from a sterile bastion into a vibrant hub of life and innovation, perched like a jewel in the misty heights of Elysium Prime's upper atmosphere. The sprawling estate, with its spires entwined with pulsing energy conduits and floating gardens of crystalline blooms, no longer felt like a monument to corporate ambition, but a home where laughter echoed as often as the hum of quantum machinery. Nyra Kael, the violet-skinned titan of Kael quantum energies, found her once rigid world softened by the presence of Zara Voss, the human engineer whose ingenuity and warmth had rewired not just Elara's therapies, but the very heart of their existence. Elara, now a radiant 9-cycle-old Valari with lavender skin that glowed with newfound vitality, was no longer tethered to her energy chair for most of the day, her quantum flux disorder receding under Zara's meticulously crafted treatment protocols. Zara, ever the tinkerer, had turned the compound's therapy bay into a laboratory of hope. Her days were a blur of calibrating energy harnesses, analyzing bioenergy scans, and mentoring Elara, who soaked up engineering concepts like a sponge. The staff, once a cold assembly of Draxan and Zorth skeptics, had warmed to Zara's relentless competence. Grant, the hulking Draxan chief of staff, now greeted her with grudging respect, his ridges no longer bristling at her human scent. Lyra, the Alvari nutritionist with her kaleidoscope of feathers, had become a confidant, slipping Zara cups of perfectly brewed Earl Grey during late-night work sessions and whispering gossip about the staff's shifting loyalties. The compound's mornings had settled into a comforting rhythm. In the dining hall, where the crystalline table reflected the auroras swirling across the dome, Nyra, Zara, and Elara shared meals that blended Valari delicacies with human comforts. Lyra's latest triumph being a fusion of roasted earth vegetables and energy-infused Valari nectar fruits. Elara, her ebony hair now neatly braided, would chatter about her studies at Stellar Nexus Academy, where her classmates no longer whispered cruelly about her condition, but marveled at her ability to manipulate hollow puzzles with steady hands. "I beat Kaeler's score in quantum coding today," she announced one morning, her silver eyes sparkling. "He said I'm disturbingly clever." His words. Zara chuckled, ruffling Elara's hair. "That's my sprout. Disturbed any anti-grav platforms yet?" Elara giggled, shaking her head. Nyra, seated at the head in a flowing tunic that shimmered like liquid amethyst, watched with a warmth that softened her regal features. "Her instructors report she's excelling," Nyra said, her voice carrying a pride that lingered on Zara. "Your conduit booster has given her more than mobility. It's given her confidence." "Just doing what I do best," Zara replied, sipping her tea. "Tinkering until things work." But her eyes met Nyra's, and the unspoken connection between them, a spark that had ignited at the gala and grown through stolen kisses and late-night confessions, charged the air. Since their intimate night after the board audit, their bond had deepened, though they kept it discreet to avoid fueling corporate gossip. Nyra's position as CEO demanded propriety, but in private, her cool violet hands sought Zara's warmth with increasing ease. That morning, as mist cascaded outside like ethereal waterfalls, Grant entered with a hollow pad, his expression unusually grim. "Ms. Kael, priority alert from the security grid. Anomalous energy signatures detected in the lower conduits. Possible sabotage." Nyra's slitted eyes narrowed. "Again?" After Silas, Zara set her cup down, instincts from her fleet days kicking in. "Could be residual tech from his cartel allies. I'll check the systems." Nyra's hand grazed hers under the table. "Be cautious. We've drawn enough enemies." The therapy bay became Zara's war room. She pulled up schematics on the hollow displays, tracing the signatures to a secondary power hub deep in the compound's understructure. "It's subtle," she muttered, fingers dancing over controls. "Almost like someone's masking a signal, trying to overload the core without tripping alarms." Elara, perched on a stool, watched wide-eyed. "Like in your war stories? Saboteurs sneaking in." Zara nodded, keeping her tone light for the girl's sake. "Exactly, Sprout. But we're smarter than they are." Nyra joined them, her presence commanding despite the worry etching her features. "The board's been informed. They're demanding a full sweep. If this is cartel retaliation," she trailed off, glancing at Elara. Zara understood. Nyra feared for her daughter, the heir whose recovery threatened rival factions. "I'll take a team to the hub," Zara said. "Grant's Draxans can cover me." Nyra's hand tightened on her arm. "Not alone. Never alone," Zara promised, her grin masking the adrenaline surging through her. The descent to the lower conduits was a journey into the compound's industrial heart, where pipes pulsed with quantum energy and mist clung to the walls like ghostly tendrils. Zara, clad in a reinforced jumpsuit, led a squad of 4 Draxans, their scales glinting under portable lights. Grant at her side muttered, "If this is Vortac tech, it's advanced. They don't play subtle." Zara nodded, her scanner humming. "Then we don't play nice." At the hub, they found it, a sleek, alien device embedded in the conduit relays, its surface etched with unfamiliar runes. "Not Vortac," Zara whispered, recognizing the design. "Cryon, a rogue faction from the outer rims. They've been sniffing around quantum tech markets." Before she could disable it, the device pulsed, sending a shockwave that knocked a Draxan back. Alarms blared. The hub trembled. "It's accelerating," Zara shouted, diving for the controls. Her fleet-honed reflexes took over. She rerouted power through auxiliary lines, stabilizing the core just as the device detonated harmlessly, its sabotage thwarted. Back topside, Nyra met her at the lift, her composure cracking as she pulled Zara into a fierce embrace. "You could have been killed." Zara, soot-streaked but grinning, held her close. "Takes more than a cryon toy to stop me." Elara, waiting anxiously, threw her arms around Zara's waist. "You're like a superhero." Zara laughed, but her eyes locked with Nyra's, conveying the gravity of the threat. "We need to trace this back. Cryons don't act alone." The investigation unfolded in Nyra's study, where holoscreens displayed intercepted transmissions. Grant's team confirmed the Cryons were hired mercenaries, funded by an unknown source within Elysium Prime's elite circles. "Someone's playing a long game," Zara said, analyzing the device's fragments. This tech mimics Silas's designs, but with a twist, targeting Elara's therapy systems specifically. Nyra's face darkened. "They want her weak again. To destabilize my leadership." Zara placed a hand on hers. "We'll find them, but we need to go public with us. Show strength, not secrecy. It'll shut down the rumors and make it harder for enemies to exploit." Nyra hesitated, then nodded. "Agreed. At the next gala, we announce our partnership, personal and professional." Elara, eavesdropping from the doorway, clapped. "Finally, I told you Mother likes you." The Stellar Nexus Academy's Celestial Gala, a biannual event, was chosen for the announcement. The floating venue glowed with bioluminescent vines, and elites from across the quadrant mingled under a dome projecting a simulated nebula. Zara, in a tailored gown that hugged her human frame, escorted Elara, whose new conduit bracelet allowed her to walk short distances unaided. Nyra descended the grand staircase in a dress that shimmered like a violet galaxy, drawing gasps, and Zara's breath caught entirely. "You're staring," Nyra teased, joining them. Zara grinned. "Can you blame me?" Elara giggled. "Told you she'd notice." The gala buzzed with anticipation, but tension simmered. Board members like Lorne watched with hawkish eyes, and whispers of Cryon activity lingered. Nyra took the stage, her voice clear as crystal. "Kael Quantum Energies thrives because of unity. My daughter's recovery, led by Zara Voss, proves it. Tonight, I announce our partnership in innovation and in life." The crowd murmured, some applauding, others exchanging skeptical glances. Zara joined her, taking her hand, a bold, human gesture that silenced doubters. Elara beamed from the sidelines, her classmates cheering. But the moment was cut short by a low rumble. Energy spikes in the venue's core. Zara's scanner bust. "Another Cryon device," she hissed, pulling Nyra aside. "They're targeting the gala." Chaos erupted as guests panicked. Zara, Nyra, and Grant rushed to the control hub, Elara secured with Lyra. The device, larger than the last, was rigged to overload the venue's anti-grav, threatening a catastrophic fall. Zara worked frantically, her hands a blur over controls. "It's got a quantum lock. Needs a dual override." Nyra synced her biosignature to Zara's, their energies merging in a literal and symbolic union. The device deactivated with seconds to spare, the platform stabilizing. Security apprehended a Cryon operative among the staff, a mole planted by Lorne, the board member. Interrogation revealed his motive: jealousy over Nyra's success and fear of human influence diluting Valari dominance. "He wanted control," Grant reported. Nyra, furious, ensured Lawrence's expulsion and prosecution. The board, led by RYL, reaffirmed Nyra's leadership, citing Zara's heroics as proof of their strength. Life resumed, richer now. Zara's therapy designs went galactic, aiding Valari children across systems. Elara, nearly fully recovered, apprenticed under Zara, dreaming of starship design. Nyra and Zara, now openly bonded, balanced leadership and love, shared meals, stargazing, and plans for a Terra visit. One night, atop the spire under a blazing aurora, Zara proposed with a fused human Valari ring. Forever. Nyra's eyes shimmered. Eternally. Their ceremony, a blend of traditions, cemented their family. Years later, the compound was a beacon of progress. Elara led innovations. Nyra and Zara co-led, their love a galactic inspiration. Reflecting, Nyra said, "When I saw you with Elara, what I did next, trusting you, built our future." Zara kissed her. Humanity and Valari, unstoppable. In the cycles that followed the Cryon sabotage attempt, the Kael compound, floating like a radiant citadel in Elysium Prime's misty skies, became a beacon of resilience and unity. The once sterile estate, with its spires entwined with pulsing quantum conduits and gardens of crystalline blooms, now thrummed with life, laughter, innovation, and the warmth of a family forged across species. Nyra Kael, her violet skin shimmering under the aurora's glow, had evolved from a guarded CO into a woman whose heart beat in sync with her human partner, Zara Voss. Zara, the former fleet engineer whose ingenuity had saved Elara's life and Nyra's legacy, now balanced her roles as caretaker, innovator, and lover with a grace that belied her rough-and-tumble war days. Elara, the lavender-skinned Valari heir, was no longer defined by her quantum flux disorder. At 10 cycles old, she walked confidently most days, her silver eyes bright with dreams of engineering stardom. The compound's daily rhythm was a symphony of purpose. Mornings began in the dining hall, with a crystalline table reflected swirling greens and blues from the dome above. Lyra, the feathery Alvari nutritionist, served fusion feasts, Earth-style pancakes drizzled with Valari nectar syrup, a favorite of Elara's. Grant, the Draxan chief of staff, had shed his gruff exterior, his ridges softening as he shared security updates with a newfound respect for Zara. No anomalies today, he'd rumble, passing Zara a holopad. Your tweaks to the grid are holding. Zara would nod, her emerald jumpsuit now adorned with Kael insignia, a symbol of her integration into the family and company. Elara's progress was nothing short of miraculous. Zara's conduit booster, a sleek bracelet syncing with her bioenergy fields, had reduced therapy side effects by 80%, allowing her to attend Stellar Nexus Academy full-time. Her classmates, once cruel or indifferent, now crowded around her, eager to learn from the girl who could manipulate quantum algorithms with a flick of a wrist. I built a mini anti-grav drone, Elara boasted one morning, showing Zara a hollow vid of her creation hovering in class. Kaler says I'm going to outshine him. You're already a star, Sprout, Zara replied, ruffling her ebony hair. Nyra, seated in a flowing robe that caught the aurora's light, smiled, a rare, unguarded expression that made Zara's heart skip. Their bond, cemented at the Celestial Gala's public announcement, had deepened through countless shared moments. Late-night research in the study, hands brushing over data pads, stolen kisses in the garden orbs, and quiet evenings under the dome, where Nyra shared Valari legends and Zara spun tales of Earth's oceans. But shadows lingered. The Cryon sabotage had exposed a deeper conspiracy, whispers of a coalition within Elysium Prime's elite, resentful of Nyra's dominance and Zara's human influence. Grant's intel suggested a new player, a shadowy Valari named Cypher, a former colleague of Elara's late father, who had vanished after his death but resurfaced on fringe worlds, rallying disgruntled factions. He's after the quantum core tech, Grant warned during a briefing in Nyra's study, his scales glinting under holoscreens. Your husband's designs weaponized. Nyra's amethyst eyes darkened. Torn would never have allowed this. Cypher was his rival, not his ally. Zara, analyzing intercepted transmissions, frowned. He's building something, a disruptor matrix. It could destabilize entire energy networks, starting with ours. Elara, eavesdropping from the doorway, piped up, like a superweapon? That's bad, right? Nyra knelt beside her. Nothing we can't handle, my star. But stay close. Zara caught Nyra's gaze, a silent vow passing between them. Protect Elara, no matter the cost. The threat crystallized at the Nexus Trade Summit, a galactic event hosted on a massive orbital platform above Elysium Prime. The Kael family attended as a united front. Nyra in a gown that shimmered like a violet nebula, Zara in a tailored suit blending human and Valari aesthetics, and Elara, radiant in a dress that glowed with her own conduit energy. The summit buzzed with diplomats, tycoons, and scientists, all eyeing Kael Quantum Energy's latest breakthrough, a scalable therapy system based on Zara's designs that could heal quantum flux disorders across species. Nyra's keynote address drew rapt attention. Our technology, she declared, is not just innovation, it's hope. My daughter, Elara, stands as proof. The crowd applauded as Elara took a few confident steps to the podium, her bracelet humming softly. Zara, standing guard at the sidelines, scanned the room, her fleet instincts on edge. Something fell off. The air too charged, the crowd too tense. Her scanner buzzed, detecting a faint quantum anomaly. Nyra, she whispered via comm, we've got a problem. Before Nyra could respond, the platform shook violently, lights flickering. Screams erupted as anti-grav fields faltered, sending guests stumbling. Zara grabbed Elara, pulling her to safety behind a podium as Nyra rallied security. It's Cypher, Zara hissed, her scanner pinpointing a disruptor matrix in the platform's core. He's overloading the system, could crash us into the planet. Grant's Draxans formed a perimeter, but the chaos intensified. Holoscreens flickered with Cypher's face, his violet skin paler than Nyra's, his eyes burning with zeal. Kael's empire ends tonight, he broadcasted. Her human taint has weakened us. I claim Torin's legacy. Nyra's voice cut through, icy and commanding. You betray Torrens' vision, Cypher. Surrender now. Zara, already moving, led a strike team to the core. The corridors were a maze of sparking conduits and panicked evacuees. Stay with Elara, she told Grant, who nodded, his loyalty now unshakable. Zara reached the core, finding Cypher and a cadre of Cryon mercenaries rigging the Matrix, a monstrous device pulsing with stolen quantum tech. You're out of your league, human, Cypher sneered, raising a disruptor. Zara dodged, deploying a fleet-trick EMP drone that stunned the Cryons. I faced worse odds, she retorted, diving for the Matrix controls. Cypher lunged, but Zara's combat training, honed in war-torn hangars, kicked in. She disarmed him with a swift grapple, binding him with conduit cables. Working frantically, she hacked the Matrix, rerouting its energy to stabilize the platform. The shaking ceased. Lights steadied. Security swarmed in, detaining Cypher and his crew. Nyra and Elara rushed to Zara, the girl throwing herself into her arms. You did it again. Nyra's embrace was fierce, her voice breaking. I thought I'd lost you. Zara kissed her forehead. Not a chance. The summit resumed, Cypher's broadcast replaced by Nyra's calm reassurance. The board, led by Chairwoman RYL, praised Zara's heroics, cementing her as a cornerstone of Kael's future. In the aftermath, investigations uncovered Cypher's network, a coalition of envious Valari elites and cartel backers, all dismantled by Grant's relentless pursuit. Nyra, Zara, and Elara returned to the compound, their bond unshakable. Zara's therapy system went galactic, healing thousands and rewriting Valari medical standards. Elara, now 11, enrolled in advanced engineering courses, her drones winning Academy Awards. Nyra and Zara, openly partners, balanced leadership and love, shared meals under auroras, adventures to Terra's beaches, and quiet nights weaving Valari and human traditions. One evening, atop the highest spire, where storms swirled below and stars blazed above, Zara knelt, presenting a ring of fused human gold and Valari crystal. Nyra Kael, will you bond with me, forever, across galaxies? Nyra's eyes shimmered, her voice soft. In Valari terms, a conduit eternal. Yes. Elara, watching from the shadows, cheered, her laughter echoing. Their ceremony, a fusion of cultures, Valari vows of energy and human exchanges of rings, drew allies from across systems. Lyra wept feathers. Grant stood stoic but proud. Elara, their officiant, declared, You're my family, now and always. The compound, now a hub of innovation and healing, thrived under their leadership. Elara grew into a prodigy, her designs powering new worlds. Nyra and Zara, co-solace, became galactic icons of unity. Years later, as they stood on the spire, Elara, now a young woman leading her own research wing, Nyra reflected. When I saw you with Elara, cleaning her face with such care, what I did next, trusting a human, changed everything. Zara kissed her, their ring glinting. Humanity and Valari, together were unstoppable. Under the auroras, their love lit the stars, a legacy of hope for all galaxies.